Well, you're out and about with me today. I'm up in the shed. It's where I love to be on my days off, just tinkering and working on our boat. It's a project that I've started and I finished it, and now we're using it. It's got two lovely big motors on it, which are you've got to look after a set of motors like this. And I've got a little story where, I'm always looking for products, to polish it and to keep the motors in good nick and everything. And I acquired this lanolin spray. And if you talk to some people, they reckon it's good for everything. So I took their advice and I sprayed it all over the motors, took the cowls off, sprayed it all over all the electronics and the rubber and everything, and I thought I was doing a great thing. And then a couple of weeks later, no, it wouldn't have been a week, it would have only been a week later, I was down talking to a marine mechanic, and we got talking about products and what you can put on a motor and everything. And in his conversation, he's just started saying to me, he goes, I tell you the one thing you can't put on a motor. He said it's absolutely detrimental for it. And I've said, what? He said, lanolin spray. And I've gone, right, what is that? He said, it's that. He said it penetrates into rubber so much that it destroys it. He said it makes it weak and just flimsy, and he said they'll all burst. If there's any pressure involved, he said all the rubber will burst. And he said it's absolutely just devastation for an outboard motor. Well, I just raced home as fast as I could. I couldn't wait to get that stuff off these motors. I stripped everything down, washed it, cleaned it thoroughly. I got everything off of that motor, so they're lanolin free at the moment. It reminds me of that there's a scripture in Corinthians that has helped me no end, and Paul talks about, it starts off and it says, food for the stomach and the stomach for food. And if you think about just that part of it, well, that's good to know, because it means God's created the stomach for food and the food for stomach. So together, they just belong together. And if you look around this shed, there's plenty of things you could eat, but they're not food. Like there's a polystyrene box over there. Well, I reckon I could eat it, but in the long term, it would be detrimental for me. And they're not designed for each other. But the scripture goes on and it says that sexual immorality is not meant for the body. It talks about the body is meant for the Lord. Now that scripture in itself is so real to me. It's such a revelation that we were not created for sexual immorality, but for God. And if you mix something like that in your life, in your body, it would be as detrimental as spraying lanolin all over this motor, making it weak and fragile, and eventually it'll fail. And it's such a grace to acquire. And the Lord gives grace. He gives power to live the life we've chosen, or He's chosen for us. Because if he never made us for it, well, He's also given us the power to live like that. And when you understand you're made for Him and not for the other, it's such a wonderful thing. So where am I going with all this? 3 things. Don't spray lanolin on your outdoors. Don't eat polystyrene. And remember, your body was made for the Lord. Thank you.